We're about halfway done with Saw month, and we're continuing with Saw 3 and 4 this week. One thing that disappointed me as a big Saw fan was the fact that Saw 3 and Saw 4 were nearly identical. Both films really differentiated from the setup of Saw 1 and 2. They both pitch as one character going through one big test that lasted about 90 minutes. In Saw 3 it was new character Jeff Reinhardt, whereas in Saw 4 it was Rick from Saw 2. In my opinion, the best part about Saw 3 was the opening scene. It picked up literally right where Saw 2 ended, with Matthews in the Saw bathroom. He was left with the task of either escaping the bathroom somehow or die trying. After retrieving the hacksaw that Gordon had used on his own foot, Eric tried cutting through the chain but realized that it wasn't strong enough to cut through the chain. Then he saw Gordon's foot and realized his painful dilemma. Donnie Wahlberg was just fantastic in this scene, as I could almost feel his pain as he positioned the hacksaw on his ankle and cried. He decided he couldn't do it and instead broke his foot by hitting it with the same toilet lid that had killed Zepp Hindle. He then broke his foot and slid it out of the shackle. But now onto the main plot. Jeff Reinhardt has been abducted and has been told to let go of the grudge he's been holding over Timothy Young, who accidentally killed his son in a hit-and-run accident. Jeff then faces the task of walking through his test and either saving the people he finds along the way or letting them die in their traps. Meanwhile, his wife Lynn has been abducted by Amanda and must keep Jigsaw alive. Amanda places her self-made collar on Lynn. Lynn is told that the collar is attached to Jigsaw. If Jigsaw's heart stops, the collar will shoot Lynn, killing her. Lynn is a doctor, and she partakes in a graphic scene in Saw 3. Many Saw fans remember this scene, right? I call it the brain scene. To alleviate pressure on his brain, Lynn performed surgery on Jigsaw and we're shown nearly every gory detail. Now honestly, there's really not a whole lot else to say about Saw 3 the way I see it. It was a pretty boring movie. You can't have the movie center around one character walking through a test and either saving the people he encounters or letting them die. That's just not as entertaining as seeing several people facing the same problem like in Saw 2. Seeing one person walking through a test just gets repetitive and boring. The same thing goes with Saw 4 since there's the same goddamn movie. I mean, I can understand the problems that scriptwriters would face in trying to keep the Saw films entertaining each year, but you really can't resort to having back-to-back movies with the same blueprint and just having different people in the roles. There's pretty much only a couple of things I found interesting in Saw 3 and Saw 4. In Saw 3, I find it really cool how they showed Amanda and Jigsaw setting up the bathroom trap. It was almost like a behind-the-scenes look and was really interesting. The other thing I found interesting was how Amanda actually killed Adam in the Saw bathroom after feeling guilty about locking him up in there in the pitch black to suffer a painfully slow death. Now, what I'm wondering is, why didn't she just let him out of the bathroom? I mean, surely Jigsaw wouldn't know if she just let Adam out and told him to, just leave the house and never come back. That way, Jigsaw surely wouldn't know about it. The other thing I found interesting was the fact that Eric was kept alive for a long time and was used in the final test of Rick's journey. The rest of the movie, though, left a lot to be desired. It just didn't feel like a Saw movie. It was pretty cool, though, seeing Jigsaw's first trap on Cecil. I found it really interesting how that he just stood there as Cecil tried to get out of it. That was cool stuff. Come back next week as we finally start closing Saw month 2009 up with Saw 5. See you then.